Hello, everyone. I'm going to talk about Palestine and Israel's controversial issue, the war, and the inequality and social injustices in that country. It all started in the late 1800s, and when there was a group of people, they decided to colonize the land. They were called the Zionists. They represented an extremist minority of the Jewish population. Their goal was to create a Jewish homeland, and they considered locations in Africa and Americas before settling in Palestine. So Palestine was it had a multicultural population. There wasn't any conflict. They were living in peace. And then in the 19th century, it was inhabited by approximately 86% Muslims, 10% Christians, 4% Jewish, and they were all living in peace. And as years went by and they started migrating in, and you're going to see in the slide how the population of the Palestinians started decreasing dramatically in like less than a year, 10 years, and then a year dramatically decrease, and the only Palestinians were left in the West Bank, and they built a wall around them. And this wall for Israelis was a wall that represented a separation barrier against terrorism, but to Palestinians it was more of a racial segregation and apartheid wall. And you're going to see how on these walls they drew graffitis to represent what they want to say to people, something like, because they can't say, they don't have the rights, they don't have the freedom to say what they think, so they try to say their feelings through these drawings. And you're going to see in the video how two kids are talking to their parents, and they're like, why is there a wall, and what are these graffitis? And when their mom asked them what are the drawings you saw, they tell her, we saw a girl carrying balloons and she was flying, and this is a symbol that they want to fly over this wall. Another was like animals stacked up each other, and this means that the people on the other side, they're treated like animals. They're blocked, and they're trying to get on top of each other to get over this wall with the help of each other. However, a lot of things they have to go through a Israeli checkpoint to go to schools, to go to work. They suffer so much to get through, and it's just not fair. And kids mostly are affected by this because the education system changed, the transportation to school changed, and I'm gonna show a video in class that shows how there's one child, they're taking him away because every year they take a number of kids to recruit, and then he was telling them, okay, please let me not go today, I'll go another day because I have a test, and they're kicking me out of school. School is so important for these children because it's the last hope they have in determining what they're gonna be one day, and it's so scary for them and unfair. I'm gonna also show pictures of the bomb. There's a lack of media coverage in Palestine, and that's why a lot of people don't know about the social injustices they live over there. There's bombs very frequently, they're kidnapping, I'm gonna show very disturbing pictures, but this is the reality they live in. Females and mothers leave their houses with only a key in their neck just to remind them of once living in a home. And it's so touching because this happened all of a sudden, and people just want to have something that belongs to them. And so they're all fighting for Jerusalem, which is the Holy Land, which has the Muslims' beliefs, the Jewish wall, the crying wall, the Christians, everything's there. And so everyone's fighting for that land, and that's why the majority of the fight. And I believe that we need to do something about it. There is social injustice everywhere, but sometimes the media shows these social injustices, but in some areas it doesn't, and that's why some people don't know about it. But I think that we need to educate ourselves first, and this is what I've been trying to do, because ever since coming to the United States, I've been feeling the need to keep constantly writing about this in papers or like talking about it, because this is the least I can do, but I want to do something about it. And so social injustices are going to be everywhere, anywhere, at any time. The right thing to do is just tell people about it or show people about it. So if there was a little hope in doing something, we can actually do it. And I'm going to show you videos in class that supports what I'm saying, and it further explains. And I hope you actually know what I'm talking about and understand the reality that's out there in the Middle East, that some people of you are scared. Like, Americans and Mexicans are scared of the wall being built, but it's already a living thing in Palestine. The wall is already there. They've been living with it, and it already happened. The worst thing have happened to Palestine. And I want you all to know that, and not to ignore anything you hear. Like, try knowing more about social justices in the Middle East, because the lack of media is affecting your knowledge or your decision in what you think of us. But when we're trying to like do something to let you guys know, it's just because we want you to hear us. It's not nothing more, nothing less. And I thank you very much, and see you in class.